just a little coaster, so it's not going to slick too much on the table, and that'll protect the bottom of the table. In an ideal world, you want to pre-warm the bowl, and you can put in about 1/4 of a cup of water, and then it's very nice to hit the whisk. We do a character in Omotesenke called ko, and then we do this 3 times. So this is both attractive to look at, and it's also delicate on the whisk because we're just gently moistening it. I don't know, there's just a little steam that's rising, and then gently whisk a little bit. So this process helps to moisten the whisk before you use it. Any kind of receptacle, put it into your sink is fine. And then here you can use paper towel if you want. This is a linen cloth that we use in tea ceremony. And we go around the entire perimeter of the bowl 3 times and then come into the center. And in Omotesenke again we make hiragana yu no ji, or the character yu. And so that just helps to make sure that now whisking your tea is really critical. Now here's the amount that I'm putting on the bottom. Okay, so 1 and 2. So if you have a look in there at the quantity, I would say that that's a little bit less than a teaspoon, but it's more than half a teaspoon. Okay, gently transferring this over, and I'm going to whisk it, or just gently sift it into the bottom. I'm not scraping it through because I don't want to damage the matcha in any way. And I think you can see that there's a considerable help when you are blending. Now I am using a chashaku or teaspoon to get this last little bit through the very fine sieve. You can see that this is a very, very fine sieve that we're using around at the bottom of the bowl. And then we'll tap the tea bowl once and twice in Omotesenke. Boiling, you're not going to be able to make delicious tea. If you use too much water and not enough matcha, you won't be able to get the foam of the bubble. Okay? In Urasenke, they hold their tea bowl on the side, but if you're a beginner and you're not that experienced, holding it on the top with your index and thumb, fingers together, off to the side of the bowl. Here we're roughly at 11 p.m. and 7 p.m. And then back and forth straight. Not scraping it against the bottom of the bowl, because then I can't get the speed that I require to oxygenate the tea. But roughly, I'm maybe like half a centimeter from the top of, or the bottom of the bowl of the tea. And then when I get to the very top, I just gently go on the top and break up all the bubbles, so that you have a thin film of bubbles. If you have really chunky big bubbles like this, it's not considered polite, and it's not quite as delicious. So if you can break those bubbles up just by floating the whisk on the top of the surface of the bubbles until they're all broken up, then it's a much more beautiful field of green jade, as they call it. So you see there's a little bit of a difference between the two. Okay, fantastic. I'm going to drink that all in.
Tea takes time. Relax and enjoy.